I guided tours all over the world.
Okay.
But I like to be here in Tanzania. And if I had a tour with tourists in Africa, I've been guiding in Mali, in Ethiopia, in Rwanda before genocide. In the north of Africa, like Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt.
Speaking to you, Madam Rita, it's like you're a global tour guide. You have not only been an European tour guide or an African, you've been to all these continents. How would you advise for the students here at Izoba's College to become global tour guides like yourself?
Most important thing, and even message for them is because myself, I am tour guide, a Belgian tour guide, but not really guide in Arusha. I guided tours all over the world.
Okay.
But I like to be here in Tanzania. And if I had a tour with tourists here, it's more like accompanying the group. And of course, I needed to cooperate with local guides.
Yes.
That's how it is.
So you said you're a tour guide and you've traveled through so many countries.
So many countries.
Could you take us back on your story? Like, how did you get started as a tour guide from Belgium back in the days?
Oh, that is a long time ago. I think I was, maybe in my 30s that I decided to be a candidate of tour guiding. And then, I was part of Caravan, Joker Travels.
Yes, I remember Joker.
Yeah, Joker, adventurous travelers with small groups and with nice contact with local people.
Very nice.
Local transport, local guest houses, restaurants. So the cultural thing, the intercultural thing was already very important by then.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So how many countries did you go
Oh my goodness.
Maybe let's start with Africa.
In Africa, I've been guiding in Mali, in Ethiopia, in Rwanda before genocide. In the north of Africa, like Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt.
So you said Rwanda before the genocide. I've seen a lot of tourism now in Rwanda post-genocide. It's like the memorial sites of the genocides have been incorporated into the. So what is Rwanda before the genocide? How was the tourism industry then?
It was low, but it was very, how would I say, very friendly. Very friendly, but not much tourism, not much yet. So I think Joker was one of the first to have groups. But however, we went to the Kagera Park to visit even gorilla. The big forests. We went up to Cyangugu, the Butare.
Nice.
It was very nice.
And how about Southern Africa?
Southern Africa, it's a nice story.
Yeah.
I did not really visit, but I've been there with Izoba.
Oh,
yes, with Izoba for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because we were teachers in a course with young Zulu tour guides. So we insisted to do this as two different cultures, the African one and the European one.
Okay.
And we did it for 2 weeks.
Okay.
It was very interesting for the both of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still remember these pictures when I was a kid. He had a DVD with the whale watching. You guys went to
the
whale
whales,
watching.
exactly. Yeah.
And he had an incident with the hippopotamus at night.
Yes.
I do remember stories like that. So you guys, when you go to a country like this, what are you exactly going to teach them?
Specifically, by then, we teach the cultural issue, how to deal with the difference in culture from the tourists, but also mutual. I mean, for tourists, it's also important to be open to the visiting for the country that is for the Caribou country. Let's call it.
Yes.
So, but like in Southern Africa, the KwaZulu-Land, it was that's not the name anyway. I remember it was almost an incident, but very interesting. We were talking about the aspect of time, and those students they didn't make any problem about they rented a car where we wanted to do a trip, and the car didn't come, came only the evening. And then so we did the trip, and then the next day we thought, aha, now we have an issue. We're going to talk about time.
Yes.
So I started, and Isoba just, I said, now what happened yesterday? And the student looks at me and they say, what do you mean, madam? I say, well, the car only came late in the evening. And then they say, it did come, madam. What's the problem? And then Isoba took over. He took over as the African part of it. He said, listen, guys, if you don't start to put the right time from the morning when you get up, you will never be able to deal with tourist time.
Very true.
Which is so more strict.
Yes, time is a very important part because they have only that time for their vacation and they're expecting to see stuff. They can't wait all day and do nothing. Wow, I like that. So you guys did South Africa. How about on your own? Did you ever go to American countries or Asian?
Yes, specifically, I was guiding in California, for instance, the parks, but also Ecuador, Guatemala, Belize.
Wow. And if you could compare like places like California and Tanzania, how different is their tourism from ours? Because most of them have national parks, but not a lot of animals, and they have a lot of zoos.
Exactly.
Yes. How does that play out for a tour guide like you?
Oh, well, yeah. I think the huge difference is, as you say, the animals and the nature is so much natural. Like we didn't say, people not animals not in zoos, but in a natural way. I mean, this is very fantastic. For instance, as a contrast to California, let's say, but it's different countries, of course. Also in Namibia there are parks, but specifically Tanzania, Kenya, but Tanzania more. What you learn here in the school and Isobas is the very typical thing for Tanzania, to be very close to the experience of wild animals in the nature.
And even you guys were bringing the Go Minus 26 groups, the Joker groups. How important was the college being as a central point where these people could come and interact with the students? How did you guys come about with that?
Well, it had to do with the start of, I think, with the start of Via Via, and Via Via is a meeting point, meeting place. There is all over the world. There is different Via Via.
Oh, so it's a worldwide
It's a
thing.
worldwide thing. Okay. Where the specific thing is to a mix of culture, local and tourism. Okay. Now in Arusha there is one, and it was boosting by then in the beginning. And because the students of the tour guide school had the opportunity of doing kind of internship, doing small tours. And then the idea came, Isoba together with myself, we were cooperated to try the minors, and to try to mix really traveling together, so that the one learns from the other.
Very true.
Students from
So the Go Minus was more about the students from Europe and the students in Africa.
Yes, exactly. Youth, not always students, but youth up to 20, 22, and the youth from Africa, so that they learn by interacting from day to day.
Very true.
During the trip. They could talk in a very, very natural way. It's kind of traveling together.
Yes.
That was the idea.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's. I think it was very kind of revolutionary.
And you have been to all these countries that are way more advanced than Tanzania. What would you say is the future for sustainable tourism in Tanzania? Like, what are the efforts that could be put there in place to help the tourism to bloom, but also protect the natural habitats of the animals?
Well, as far as I can see, because I don't live here a long time, not anymore. I used to live here 3 years, but that's long ago. But what I can see is, first of all, that Tanzania does already very much to make sure that parts of the park are not taken over by local people.
Very true.
I don't know exactly how they do. I hope it is done very respectful.
Of course. Yes.
And I have the impression that it is, because I always found or felt that the way Tanzania is dealing with locals is quite respectful. It's not that
very much.
Yes.
And we were even planning to grow the tourism industry because the current president is really into tourism, and she said that we want to grow to 5 million visitors a year, and now we are at almost 1.7.
Oh.
What do you think needs to be improved for us to gain to be able to accommodate such high numbers?
Oh my goodness. That I don't know.
No, okay, it's okay.
I don't
Because
know.
I was hoping you would say something like more tour guides. Of course, there'll be needed more tour guides.
I'm not sure about that because I don't have the figures. But I would say well qualified tour guides,
Well
of course.
qualified.
Well qualified. Who give the, what would I say, it's not only the knowledge that they need, but part of it, a big part of it is knowledge, but the sensitivity of what is tourism. The tourists are different, but if they stay themselves, not always thinking that, oh, this is what a client needs, I'm going to do that. No. I think the authenticity is a big issue. The authenticity of good tour guides. And to my opinion, this is something that at least Isoba in the school stresses also.
Of course, yeah.
So it's kind of a quality of tour guides. Of course, it's not easy to tell the world that you come to Tanzania, don't go to Kenya, don't go to South Africa, because here is good quality. But from mouth to mouth, it's something. And then, there should be tour guides enough with good education and nice places nice lodges, for instance. By then, there was only the very high end and low end. So everything in between, it will be needed. It will be needed.
And most people are like mid class people, so they need that balance. And we've seen a lot of companies innovating, like what do they call them? They call them the tented camps, where they're like semi-luxury tented camps and semi-luxury for the middle class people. So you have been to a lot of national parks in Tanzania. Which one is your favorite, you would say?
Oh, I have a favorite. I mostly like Tarangire.
Really?
Yeah.
Why Tarangire?
Because of the baobabs and the elephants.
Wow.
Yes.
So would that also mean that elephant is your favorite animal, or do you have your favorite animal?
I think the elephant is my favorite.
Why would you say the elephant?
I learned so much about their intelligence, about their memory, about their empathy. I learned a lot, and not even enough. I want to learn more about the character of the elephants. And it's so beautiful that this animal. I like it, and the baobabs, of course, because it's the most beautiful tree that I know. I would have liked in Belgium to have a baobab in my garden, which is not possible.
Yes.
But it's the most beautiful tree.
Wow, I really like that. And we've had students here talking about the tipping cultures and the difference when they meet Asian clients different from American clients. And does Europe have the tipping culture that we see here most Americans have, or is it a bit different?
The difficulty is your question is that it involves Europe. Europe is too big.
Oh yes, but not all. Yes,
No.
Europe is not one place.
No, it's not one place. Western tourists, even Belgium. I can only speak for Belgians. Let's
Okay.
say, and the Belgians are easygoing people. I think they're less exciting and they're less rigid than some other. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay.
What is now you're asking me to give some generalizations,
Yes.
what is very difficult.
Which is very
But
difficult.
actually there is a difference, as you say. I think when you deal with Chinese or Japanese people and Western Europeans and Americans, or even people from France who do not speak English even. So I think Belgian people, specifically Flemish people, are easygoing
Yes, of course.
and
Yeah.
very
Friendly.
friendly and
Yeah.
sociable. But sometimes they're too shy,
Yes.
like me.
Yeah.
They're too silent, and you have to really involve them yourself. So if you have tour guides, I hope Isopa is really stressing
course,
it to be very, like humor is important, humoristic and very, kind of empathetic and the authenticity that I'm talking
Yes,
about
of
is
course.
very important.
And I really like that you say guides need authenticity and humor.
Yeah.
Now, as a tour guide, all these places, Rita, have tasted plenty of different types of foods and dishes. Can you tell us some of your favorite, even two types of dishes from different countries, apart from European countries?
Ooh.
Maybe one in Africa.
In Africa, in Tanzania, and in Arusha, even I'm crazy about nyama choma. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's said that in Belgium and in Europe we have barbecue, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. No. The way of eating it, also in communality, community,
Yes.
taking with the hands and with the chumvi and this is wonderful. I like that most here.
Yes.
Mostly, yeah.
And that is great.
Chicken. I'm glad I like chicken because there's a lot of chicken here.
Yeah.
In other countries, now yeah.
Let's try South America. Did you like anything in South America, like Ecuador and in them places?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't get that.
It's okay.
No, not for the moment.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Now, what message would you say you have for the young tour guides coming into, and how can they become global tour guide? Because speaking to you, Madam Rita, it's like you're a global tour guide. You have not only been an European tour guide or an African, you've been to all these continents. How would you advise for the students here at Izobas College to become global tour guides like yourself?
Most important thing, and even message for them is to keep your eyes and your ears very open. Not stick to the things that you have in your head. Not stick to a lion is this and a hippopotamus is this. No. First of all, listen. Who is this? Who is this kind of person? Not only what do they want, but who is this? Let me learn from it so that you can really go in a true interaction and see what is interesting for them. Let them ask questions. Don't overwhelm them with all your wisdom. Kind of a balance between what you have learned and who is there. Coming from where and what do you notice that is important from without changing your attitude. It's always the same interesting thing. Stay who you are. You don't have to change yourself according to who is there. No. But listen very carefully. Ask your questions. Ask, for instance, why do you think it's strange? See if they are judging or they're saying, well, why do people that? It's interesting. It's interesting,
Very interesting.
and make sure that they understand. They learn from you, and you learn from them.
Very true.
And how? What is the how is it in your country? And what do you mean by it? So that there is kind of an exchange, even with the tour guide. Yeah.
And we have one closing question that we like to ask everybody here at the podcast is that why Tanzania? For any traveler looking to go on a safari, why should they come to Tanzania? What makes us special from everybody else? From your perspective, of course.
Yeah, from my perspective, is that Tanzania, and what you have is the accessibility of services, of people specifically. People say friendliness, but it's true. There's a difference of attitude in Tanzania compared to Kenya or even South America. Even that it's big, it's accessible, and I think it's also a bit historical. I love the late President Nyerere and what he realized, and he kind of made it possible that the people have a very, very gentle way of dealing with each other.
Very true.
And you can feel that if you visit the country, there is a kind of softness, a kind of, very accessible, I would say, very, very welcoming.
Yes, the people, like most people say, the people is what makes Tanzania special.
Exactly.
Like the people are very calm,
Exactly,
charming.
calm, charming.
Yeah.
If people in Belgium ask me, where can I go best to travel in Africa? And then they start to think about all these conflicting areas. I said, no, go to Tanzania. You can even manage to visit parts of it alone or with whatever. You don't feel at ease, etc. It's easier than other countries.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that concludes our interview. Unless you have anything else you want to say to the world or the students. Good.
Go on the way you are doing. I have a big. I know this. It is going very well in the school and with what you're doing. I would say proceed. Don't give up. I heard a song a couple of days ago. There was a performance in Via Via, and I was the woman who said, "Usikate." Go on with it.
Usikate tama.
Usikate.
Yeah, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yes.
Usikate.
Yeah.
And also dare to learn yourself. Again, not only give to others, but be open. Be open. Listen now, look. Listen now, look. Change give yourself the opportunity to change yourself as a person also.
As time comes.
As times comes, you get better as a person, as a guide.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Rita. This has been a beautiful
Okay.
with the global tour guide.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.